Hey folks, Joe Bot here. Just want to take a minute and talk about rotisserie motors. I answer a lot of questions on these rotisserie motors, and whether you've made your own or whether you've made one of my PVCs or one of the inlines or whatever. I see a lot of folks are having problems with the wheels slipping, the rods coming out. Why is it doing this? And 99% of the time, it's because the rod to motor connection or the motor mount piece is not done correctly. So let's talk about that real quick. What I've got here is just one of my PVC turners, my single PVC turners that I've made. This is the Char-Broil rotisserie motor. So I've got the bracket mounted here. This is what the bracket looks like. Most of you probably know that. This is the motor. Okay, if you got one of these, it does not mount like this. It mounts like this. The cord is actually on top. The switch is on the top. It's going to slide down into the rotisserie rack here, or the mount. Okay. These ears right here on the rotisserie motor, these guys actually need to be bent in a little bit with your fingers. I've seen people take popsicle sticks and stick down in there. I think maybe Ashley does that. That works too, whatever you need to do. Sometimes that'll slide around a little bit. I like to take something and just press those in to make that a little bit firmer connection to the rack. The big thing that I see, right? Let's talk about rods slipping out or rods slipping or stuff like that. This is your rod to motor connection. Okay. What this does is going to connect to the motor, and it's going to keep your rod from falling out. Well, how does it do that? Okay, when you go to mount your motor, you don't just stick it down on there. This piece, if you look at this piece, there's a fat end and a small end. I see people with them all the time. They're turned around backwards, right? This actually tucks into the motor right here. So that's nice and flush. See? That's how it should look. So when you go to install your motor, you want to put your motor on, slide it on a little bit, hold the silver piece up on, right, like that, and then slide the whole thing down, just like that. Okay, that's how it should look. Nice and flush, everything's mounted. So what you just did, when you slid that on there, this is your motor mount. Your motor mount actually locks this piece to the motor. So this can't come out now. See that? So for you guys that are having rods slip out, that kind of stuff happen, why is it jumping? Why is it 99% of the time I can probably say that's what, that's what it is. So now what's going to happen once you get this all set up correctly, your motor's going to, or I'm sorry, your rod's going to come into the rod connector. It's going to slide all the way in like so. And then right here you have got a thumb screw. And right now mine's on the wrong side, so let's rotate it. There we go. You got a thumb screw. Your thumb screw is what connects the rod to the rod mount, okay, or the rod capture piece, or whatever I've called it on multiple posts. I've kind of made up a name for it. So now what you do is you take your thumb screw, you screw it down, okay, and the way I've got mine, I like to take a pair of pliers, right, and just give that a tweak. Now with this design tumbler turner that I've made here, I've got the PVC, and I do that to make sure it's in line and it doesn't contact the bracket down there. That may be applicable for you, it may not, but that's the way your motor should look, folks. I know there's a couple people that have made different turners that actually do swap around. Again, 99% of the questions that I have to field on these things, this is the problem right here. So, best of luck, happy turning.